Hey there fans, welcome back to our channel, and today we're going to be getting into our first Gargoyle action figure. Just a little while ago I did a video explaining who the Gargoyles were, just a brief summary on some of the cool aspects. And I wanted to start out with this particular action figure because what it is, it's a robot, right? It's a robot gargoyle, and the main villain, David Xanotos, what he does is the gargoyles they have free will, right? So they're uncontrollable, right? They're not obedient. So what he does is he creates robotic gargoyles, right? Because they're obviously 100% obedient to his command and his programming, etc., etc. So I figured this would be a good place to start, be it that we are a Transformer channel, right? Robot gargoyles, right? They don't transform, but you can see the connection. So let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said before, these action figures are made by Neca Toys. The sculpting has been phenomenal. I've been unbelievably impressed by the level of detail in each of these figures. So this particular action figure, it's called the Steel Clan robot, and it's just basically an army builder, to be honest with you. As you can see here on the packaging, we've got some really cool artwork, of the character, and multiple characters at that, right? You've got, you got what? There are 6 of them, and they're obviously modeled after Goliath. Goliath being the strongest gargoyle of the clan, and so as we look here at the box, right? We can tilt this up. You got the logo, right? This is from Disney. We got the name, right? It says Ultimate Action Figure there. On the side, you've got picture of the actual action figure itself. Not too bad. In the back, right? You've got the action figure again. Some different poses coming over here. You've got at the bottom here, you've got all the different characters that they are in line to make, and as you can see right there, you've got the entire clan. You've got Elisa Maza, and you've got David Xanotos himself. Actually, you've got 2 David Xanotos, right? So one at the bottom right here, if you can see where my finger is, it's in his human form, right? That's what the villain looks like. And then right next to him is he actually builds himself a gargoyle suit, almost like an Iron Man type thing, right? So pretty cool. On the other side, we've got again another image of the action figure, this time straight on looking at you, and I've got too much glare there. So not bad, nothing much underneath, right? Just the barcode and some words. So let's go ahead and crack this guy open. Let's see what he looks like. All right, and here is the character out of package. Big, solid figure. You can tell by the legs that this guy's massive chest, massive arm, great amount of detailing. As you can see here, he comes with his tail. The tail's pretty cool because it bends. So it's probably some type of bendy wire in the back there. So I really do like that. I think they all come with that type of bendy wire, so you can move the tail around, however you need. But it's good because it also gives it, an extra support for standing, right? And then it's got these massive wings, right, that it uses to fly. As you can see here in the back, there's a jetpack, right? As you can see right about there. So that's what they use a jetpack to fly. If you've got a jetpack, not sure how the wings work. I guess it's just to make it look more authentic and maybe maneuverability, I guess. But overall, a very, very good design. Head sculpt is phenomenal. Looks really menacing. Looks really, like evil, right? You've got some great sculpting though. You could see all the sculpting in the arms. You could see here in the abdomen area, right? It looks like these, it almost looks like vents, right? And then, all the creases, all the little impressions of the bolts, those are there, right? Really, really nice. Paint application looks phenomenal. Really smooth paint app. It's almost got this metallic, shiny look to it that helps it look really robotic. I really like that. As a matter of fact, it's actually one of my criticisms about the RED line. is that it just looks very opaque. I think if it had a paint app like this, it would really make it pop more. So kudos to NECA for going the extra mile and giving it this metallic paint job on it. It looks really nice. Now, one of the criticisms this toy line has gotten is the wings. When you look at the actual gargoyles, their wingspan is huge, so it takes up a lot of shelf space. Thankfully, they've been releasing some of the smaller characters, or human characters, with wings that kind of wrap around the action figure, right? So that saves up a lot of shelf space. Unfortunately, with the Steel Clan, they don't have that option. They never did that in the show, right? Because these are metal wings. Metal it doesn't wrap around like skin would or cloth or something like that, right? So this one is going to take up a lot of shelf space. That's you know, it is what it is, right? But nonetheless, very, very cool. The wings, when you put them in, they're really solid. One of the things that I was worried about is like they're not going to, you know, be able to move. Actually, if you push it in all the way, it actually has a click, it makes a click sound so that you know that it's all the way, because the weight of the wings is pretty heavy. So if it's not clicked in all the way, the wings are gonna, you know, they're gonna flop down or they're gonna sag down. So in this particular case, we popped them in, and as you can see, they're good to go. So that's about it so far. Really nice. I'm really liking how it looks. Let's go ahead and get into the accessories, because it came with a good amount of them. All right, and as you can see here, the amount of accessories he comes with is adequate for, number one, the character, and number two, for what it is, right? So one of the things that we've got here is this this afterburner effect that goes into the back of the jetpack, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool effect to have. He's got two guns that essentially, these guns right here, they essentially come out of the forearm, right? So think about it as the, you know, in the Transformers Prime universe, right? They've got their short range and long range weapons stashed within the forearm. So he's got his long range weapons in there as well. So that's pretty familiar to us, right? And then they've got some cool blast effects that come with it, right? So that when you pose him up, it looks like he's actually shooting. So that's pretty cool. The wings, even though they're part of the character itself, they came packaged with the accessories. I don't really include that as an accessory. That's just, you know, it's part of the character, right? You've got a number of hands, right? So we've got the default hands where the hands are, you know, somewhat wide open. Then you've got another set where they're a little bit more relaxed, I would say, right? You can see right here, you know, not as wide open. You've got two sets of closed fists. One is semi-open, as you can see here. There's a hole. Maybe he can hold something. They really didn't have any external weapons, so not really sure what would go in there, but who knows, right? Let your imagination go wild. And then you've got you know, certainly a very, very closed fist. Nothing can go in there, right? So this is just pretty much a closed fist. I don't think we needed the extra closed fist. I think this one would have been just fine, but it is what it is. I'll never complain about getting additional accessories. So that's pretty much it. And again, the paint app is really good. When you look at this, again, that metallic, oops, slipped that on my finger. That metallic paint job that they gave on it, like I hope it's coming through on the video camera, but you could see here, there's a difference. There's an extra set of shininess, it looks like, on the claws itself, right? And that makes perfect sense because they're sharp, right? These things can go through, I don't know, I guess metal, right? So that little extra set of shininess really looks nice. As far as the fire effects, it's got a bit of a see-through type of thing, so it looks really cool. I mean, it's a very plain, I mean, it depends how you do art, right? You could do a blast with just one type of a color, or you can do a gradient. I think I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a gradient, but that's just going the extra mile. For what it is and what we have, I think this is just more. This is more than fine, to be honest with you. I'm more than happy with it. So yeah, guys, that's what I have here. As far as the accessories go, you know, really nice detail into everything. I really like all the detail that they put into the wrist guns itself, right? You can see some grooves in there. Really nice job overall. So that's pretty much it for the accessories. Let's go ahead and pose them up and add some of those accessories in there. All right, guys. So as you can see here with his pose, right? We put some of the accessories on here. We've got the afterburn effect coming out in the back here. Pretty cool looking. We've got the gun coming out of the forearm, or the blaster, right? Coming out of the forearm. And pretty cool. Now what's pretty cool is that the blaster is specific to the side of the arm, right? So this is a right-handed blaster coming out of the right arm, and then this would be a left-handed blaster coming out of the left arm. It is specific to the side of the arm. And I have to make a correction. I thought these were blast effects to come out of the blaster here, but these are actually afterburner effects for the bottom of the feet. So they actually go here. So if you've got some type of a stance, if you got some type of a stand to put them on, then it'll make it seem like they're actually, the blaster's coming out from underneath his feet. I have to play around with it just to put it in there. So I stand corrected. I thought those were blasters. So now that I see that, I would have liked some blasters for the some blaster effect for the actual blaster, right? I think that would have made a little bit more sense. But again, if you have a stance, right, you could put it around the waist, and then you put this underneath the feet, and it makes it look like he's flying. He's got the booster, the main jet pack in the back, and then the supporting thrusters, if you will, underneath the feet. So that makes a little bit of sense. But again, really nice figure. Really like all the detail that they put into it, right? Let's go ahead and get into the articulation on our next segment. All right, so here we are in our next segment, and we're going to be talking about the articulation, right? You've got some articulation here at the waist, which is good. I like that. You got obviously your leg articulation, which is good. You've got your knee joint, right? It doesn't go too far, but not bad overall, right? You've got your feet. You got a little bit of a foot rotation there happening. You've got some toe rotation, just enough to make it bend downward, right? I said it before. The tail bends in whichever way you want it to bend. So it's got like a wire bend back there. It's just cool. You've got your wrist rotation, right? You've got your elbow joint. You've got your shoulder. Doesn't go all the way up because you've got this piece right here. But obviously you can see it lifts up actually, so that's actually pretty good. It won't limit the amount of range. I like that. I really do. And then you've got your wings, right? Your wings actually they are on a ball joint, right? So you can make the wings a little bit different. And then, right, you've got some expansion that happens here. Not a whole lot, right? I don't know how that looks, how that's coming across. I don't like it like that. I like it kind of like this, but yeah, you can mess around with it, right? Any way that you would like. So real basic as far as articulation, but it's got all the necessary points. Probably not a whole lot on the neck. There is actually a good amount of neck rotation. Actually, I'm really surprised because the sculpting of the hairs in the back, and I would have figured that would have gone in the way, but phenomenal job. Usually this is a lot harder on specifically on the Hasbro Legend. Like if you look at any of the females, right, that have long hair, it's so hard, and the plastic is so hard that it really limits the neck rotation on the action figure. This one is not as hard. As you can see here, I'm bending it with no problem. So that bend actually does help and give it a good amount of neck rotation. That's actually surprising. I'm really impressed by that. So really, really nice. All right, so here we have the character standing next to the character that it's modeled after, and this is Goliath here. As you can see here, I haven't done a review. Obviously, this is my first Gargoyle review. Like I said, I have 7 different figures, right? And so, I haven't really been doing the figure reviews. I just picked it back up since last year. But I wanted you guys to see the level of detail and see how it compares, right? You can see here that face is really molded after Goliath himself, but with a robotic twist in it. Again, you can see the grooves or the vents happening within the neck. Pretty nice. And as you can see here, look at the detail and sculpting on this character. So really, really nice. Pairs up very, very nicely with this particular action figure. And then just to give us another comparison, we've got the Guardian Bronx, right? So you can see here, nice little setup between the three of them. Mouth opens up a little bit there. And yeah, so these guys, again, are built by David Xanotos, modeled after Goliath. They're constantly battling it out. Anytime Xanotos has an evil scheme that he wants to plot out against the Gargoyles, makes for a ton of fun, and it's an essential army builder, right? All right, let's take out Bronx out of here, and we'll put Goliath here. Then we'll add another Steel Clan member right about here. So I picked up two of these guys. Why? Because they're an army builder, right? And so if they're an army builder, there's more than one. I got to pick up more than one, right? This is actually the first time I've gotten a duplicate character. Like there's other characters within the Marvel Legends universe, within G.I. Joe, like maybe like a Crimson Guard, right? It's just a random guard, and there's a bunch of them, right? So there's army builder figures that you can absolutely get, which I normally don't. I normally just buy one, and that's about it. That's good enough for my collection. In this case, there's not that many of them, so I just said, you know what? Why the heck not? Let me just go ahead and get an army builder. So we've got there the Steel Clan, right? It wouldn't have made sense calling them a clan with just one of the characters, right? So guys, yeah, very, very nice figure. I really like the way that it looks, to be quite honest with you. Nothing bad on this whatsoever. Again, solid sculpting, solid look, great paint apps, great quality. I'm not seeing any flimsiness. As a matter of fact, the one on the right is a little bit more stiff than I would like it, and the one on the left that I just opened up seems to be just flexible enough. But again, that's just the way it works. But at least they can stand on their own. They're not flopping over. They're not falling apart, which is absolutely good in my book. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the final review. So overall, honestly, this figure, I give it to be honest with you, I don't like ranking it, but I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think, like I said, the only opportunity, or the only thing I could have seen adding on to this was if these blasters, not only for the feet, because I think the feet are necessary, that's actually show accurate, but if the blaster would have been, they actually would have had a blaster effect for the blaster, right? I think that would have been the only opportunity or that's the only opportunity that I see. The only thing I would have improved on. Other than that, I don't have any other gripes about it. It's not as flexible as maybe a Spider-Man figure, right? Because Spider-Man is supposed to be flexible. This guy's big and bulky, so I wouldn't expect him to have massive amount of articulation. But he's got the necessary ones to make the figure and pose him up however you would like to display him. So, guys, if you guys have not gotten into the Gargoyles show, I would recommend watching it. And if you haven't gotten into the figure, or you're hesitant, you're gonna get your money's worth. I have so far, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my 7th figure that I have, and I have not been disappointed in any of them. I've never gotten one that I say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have bought that, or I should have passed. So definitely give it a 2 thumbs up and check it out. Guys, that's it. That's all I have for you on this toy review. Thank you for joining me. Excuse me. Thank you for joining me on this toy review. Appreciate all you guys' support. Until the next one, take care. Peace out. Till all are one.